Hello, everybody. Sorry if I seem a little ragged tonight. I just been running a little behind all day today. So, anyways, you guys can help me out by liking and sharing the stream. That would be appreciated. Also, if anything we talk about tonight grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I've still got a couple of things to do real quick here before we get started. So, what I'm going to do now is I'll put some music on for the moment. Take care of a couple of things here. Just, as I said, just running a tad behind here. All right. So, anyways, I'm gonna put on some music for the moment while I am away. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that, guys. As I said, I was running a tad behind here. So, hello, hey, Wally G. What is the band name? I don't know if there is a per se a band name for that music. It's just like preset music they have on here. they can put on if you need to step away for a moment and you don't have anybody else to like cover for you. So, anyways, I was just taking care. A little behind tonight, but that's okay. What I'm gonna do right now, of course. So now that we're getting going here, we're past the 5 minute mark. So I do have some articles to go over from Bounding into Comics. Three anime related articles, including stuff going on with Crunchyroll, some new information coming out about the latest on Bleach Thousand Year Blood War arc, and also some other little tidbits in the anime world. So, plus, of course, the wrestling wrap up, as well as this day in each history. So, with all that being said, why don't we go ahead and get started then? So, anyway, let me do one last thing, and then we'll get going here. All right. So with that, alrighty then. So let me just go ahead and okay. Let's see now. Alrighty then. So here we go. Now I pulled the thing up. Let's go ahead and get down to the first article we're going to cover. And then we're going to be covering three articles. I actually saw this news story on Flash's Yellow Flash's channel earlier. He was talking about this. So um, Sony-owned Crunchyroll disables comments, user reviews in order to, quote, reduce harmful content, unquote, and, quote unquote, prevent misinformation. Article by Spencer McCauley on July 8th, 2024. Okay, so in a purported attempt to foster a, quote, say a safer, more respectful, and highly quality environment, unquote, Crunchyroll has reportedly disabled the ability for users to leave comments, including reviews, across the entirety of their anime streaming platform. This change was first brought to public attention courtesy of a July 7th post, which was back on Sunday, made by user Towits to the unofficial Crunchyroll subreddit. Quote, finished an episode of a show and made a comment, switched apps, and then came back to find the comment section gone. Then, quote unquote, then they relayed to their fellow platform users, quote, thought it was a bug, but apparently they've decided to suddenly blanket wipe everything, unquote. In support of their claim, Touts then shared a trio of screenshots showing a purported conversation they had with a member of Crunchyroll's support team in the immediate aftermath of their above discovery. Therein, the support member can be seen confirming the change, explaining to the touts, quote, to maintain a safe, respectful, and high-quality environment for our community, we have decided to remove all existing comments and disable the ability to comment on our platforms, including comments on new articles, unquote. Yeah. Quote, this change helps us reduce harmful content, prevent misinformation, improve overall user experience. The support team member further detail, quote, this is for every Crunchyroll customer. Press exit doubt. Now, one of the things that Yellow Flash had mentioned when he was covering this, and I haven't got to that part of the article, but I guess apparently one of the shows they were doing was getting review bombed, and they comment bombed, review bombed, or whatever. And therefore, they just felt, okay, let's just turn off the comments for everybody. It's like it can't take criticism, right? So they just said, you know something, we're just shutting you down. You know, we're just gonna, we don't want to see the negative comments. We don't want to see the negative feedback. So we're just gonna shut you off. That's basically what it sounds like to me. They're doing. Hey, good night, Spoon. Did you hear about Rick? I don't know. What about Rick? Last I knew, he'll probably be getting ready to do a show tonight. Don't get too crunchy. Yep. Anyways, I no good night, Spoon. I did not hear about Rick. What I do know about Rick right now, of course, he's as far as I know, he's probably getting ready for a show. But if you want to share, feel free to. Let's see. Met with disappointment from Touts and their hope that, quote, the decision is reversed soon, unquote. Then support team member ultimately asserted, quote, this decision was made to ensure a safer, more respectful, and higher quality environment for all our users, unquote. Basically, my guess is, well, the show that they were talking about that was apparently review bombed was a show in which they put up a bunch of it's like a pro LGBT content type show, and it's a show where they may be at least according to what Yellow Flash had mentioned, but sure we'll get to that in a moment here. Let's see. He's streaming tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, over at Cross. Okay, if that's all that you needed to hear about, I don't know what the way you said that. Good night, Spoon. It was almost like there was something more, like something happened to him or something like that. Okay. If you were saying that to troll me, that's not a very nice way to troll anybody. Okay, because the way you made that sound when you said, "Did you hear about Rick?" You made it sound like something something else happened, like maybe he got hurt or something like that. Oh, my bad. Okay. Anyways, let's get back to the article here. Following the public reveal of this change, Crunchyroll updated their official support and customer service page to add a brief section detailing, quote, at Crunchyroll, we prioritize creating a safe and respectful community environment. To maintain this standard, we are removing all existing user-generated content, including comments across all our platforms and experiences. And they wonder why people go and pirate stuff. To the surprise of few, this change has not gone over well with Crunchyroll's user base, many of whom, if the replies to Tao's thread are any indication, enjoyed the communal aspect previously offered by comments and reviews. As such, unhappy fans have begun to send complaints directly to Crunchyroll themselves via their publicly available support lines. However, given how quickly and resolutely the change has been enshrined as a matter of official policy, it presently seems unlikely that the platform or their parent company, Sony, will actually listen to their users and roll it back. Between the disabling of comments, the constant butchering of subtitles, and its ever buggy player, at this point one has to admit, while it's convenient for watching anime, the overall Crunchyroll experience is unpleasant and anti-consumer through and through. And sadly, it's probably only going to get worse. Yeah, that's the problem with what happens with um the problem that happens when you have one company becoming, and Sony Crunchyroll is kind of the is a monopoly in a sense of, in terms of dub content, it is pretty much the big dog. I mean, yeah, TPCI does some, stuff, has kind of the market cornered on Pokemon stuff, but he did say he had an announcement tonight, or maybe an explanation for what he's been going through. Probably not a tunnel. Yeah, well, if he does have an announcement, it might just be stuff going up. It could be anything from, maybe he got a new job, um, to maybe it's just, or maybe he's, starting, maybe going to start getting back to his comic stuff. I don't know, because again, he mentioned a lot. Remember, he mentioned a lot of that stuff on, when he was on here last night too. That, what's been going on with him. So it might just be an update on stuff going on. You know, um, ooh, that would be great news if he got a job. I mean, again, I'm just speculating because, if he has some kind of an announcement, we'll just have to wait and see until he makes the announcement. I don't know anything about it. He didn't say anything to me about any specifics about like him making a specific announcement tonight. You know, so I guess after we get done here, you just go over and watch the show and see what he has to say. I missed the part of the stream he said stuff last night. Huh. Okay, well, anyways, with all that being said, let me get back to the article here. All right, so that's pretty much all that this article has to say. I know that when Yellow Flash was a lot, and they may in maybe in the other article I'm going to do, maybe that will give us a little more kind of clarification on what's going on. But basically, yeah, yeah, the thing with Crunchyroll and that announcement and all that, yeah, that's not going to go over too well, you know. But it's stuff like that that's gonna, you have to wonder, they have to start thinking, wondering, well, that, why people sometimes make pirate stuff. So, anyways, let's move on to the next article. Something a little more, I would hope, a little more upbeat here for those who are. Um, I doubt that. I doubt that. Good night, Spoon. Oh, brother. Anyways, Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War, Part 3 confirms release date will feature quote unquote more CGI than previous seasons. Yeah, and that's probably not going to make a lot of people happy. Article by Nerdigans Inc. published earlier today. So let's get into this. So the Bankai for Bleach fans is higher than the Soul King's Palace right now. As hot off the heels of Bandai Namco's official reveal of Bleach Rebirth of Souls, the upcoming third season of Bleach Thousand Year Blood War, has officially received both a new trailer and a release date. Debuting on July 6th during the series panel at the 2024 Anime Expo, the trailer kicks off by highlighting all the Bankai featured in the first two seasons of Bleach Thousand Year Blood War. The roll call ultimately ending on with the reveal that Gotai 13 Captain Commander and its first division commander, Shunsui Kyoraku, who is voiced in Japanese by Akio Otsuka, who provided the voice of All for One in My Hero Academia. Bankai, the Katen Kyokotsu Kiromatsu Chunjiu Make, will soon be making its long-awaited anime debut. The conflict's action-packed trailer then proceeds to tease a further destructive clash between protagonist Ichigo Kurasaki's voice in Japanese by Masakazu Morita, who provides the voice of Whis in Dragon Ball Super, and the Quincy King Yawak, voiced in the Japanese by Takayuki Sugo, who provides the voice of Iwao Hazuki in Shenmue the animation, and the whole of the Soul Society, Hueco Mundo, and Material World hanging in the balance. Anyways, guys, as always, if you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream and see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage, that would be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. So, anyways, continuing on with the article here. Throughout Ichigo's fight with the Quincy King, the trailer showcases some of the highly anticipated fights that Bleach Thousand Year Blood War Part 3, The Conflict, has in store, including 12th Division Captain Mayuri Kuratsuchi, who is voiced in Japanese by Ryusei Nakao, who's the Japanese voice for Frieza in the Dragon Ball series, and his assistant lieutenant Nemu Kuratsuchi's, who's voiced in Japanese by Rie Kugimiya, who also provides the Japanese voice for Tatiana in Undead Unlock. Scientific smackdown against the Soul King's left-hand Sternritter, Permita Parkanja, who is voiced in Japanese by Bean Shimada, who provides the voice of Broly in the Dragon Ball series. The X-Axis Sternritter, Lily Barrows, who's voiced in Japanese by Satoshi Hino, who also provides the Japanese voice for Kyojuro Rengoku and Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. Epic shootout with Gotai 13 Captain Commander Shunsui Kyoraku and Ichigo's long-awaited confrontation with Uruha Yoshida, whose Japanese voice is provided by Noriaki Sugiyama, who also provides the Japanese voice for Shiro Emiya in Fate Stay Night. As we get ready, Continue on with the article here. If you could capture lightning, how would you want it kept? I don't know. I've never really thought about trying to catch lightning. I guess maybe like how powder did it, just store it in my body, and then whenever anybody gets on my nerves, maybe I could just shoot it out at them, like Black Vulcan or something like that. Just kidding. Anyways, after the panel, Viz Media posted a message from producer Yoshihiro Tominaga, chief series director and supervisor Tomohisa Taguchi, and new series director Hikaru Murata, wherein the trio discussed what fans could expect to see in the upcoming season. For his part, Taguchi, revealed that, similar to previous seasons, Bleach Thousand Year Blood War Part 3, The Conflict, will include original content as created in partnership with series creator Tide Kubo, telling fans, quote, we worked with Kubo Sensei again to create new scenes that would supplement well, I think it's supposed to that would supplement, or that supplements, not both. Obviously a typo here, maybe something lost in translation there. The stories covered in the original manga. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, that's a interesting choice. I was expecting in a bottle or a battery. Personally, I would choose a photograph. Well, I guess it's not too odd when you consider I'm a big superhero guy. So, I mean, so anyways, getting back to the article here. So, quote, we're continuing the trend by adding scenes the fans would be excited about, unquote, Tominaga added, quote, lots more actually, so I'm sure everyone can look forward to that, unquote. Finally, Murata proceeded to emphasize that his aim in taking over the series from previous director Tomohisa Taguchi, or Taguchi, Taguchi, was to, quote, maintain the animation quality established by everyone from part 2, unquote. But, quote, but if I am to address any changes, we are applying more CGI than part 2, unquote. He added, quote, so I'm hoping the fans can look forward to seeing the improved quality of the animation, unquote. Quote, as revealed at the conclusion of the trailer, Bleach Thousand Year Blood War is set to continue its march against Yawak this October 3rd, exclusively on Hulu or Disney Plus for international viewers, in parentheses there. So basically, yeah, so the third season of Bleach Thousand Year Blood War is coming out this fall, basically, during the fall release season. So it's doubly interesting as several weeks ago I gave you the option to be Powder, Johnny Mnemonic, and I forgot the last, but you refused to be all three. I wasn't interested in playing the game. So hypothetically. Yeah. So anyways. Anyways. Let's see. We're already at 30-minute mark, so we are making good time. So now we got one more article to go through, and then we will, of course, move on to the wrestling wrap up, and then all right. So this is the last article we're going to go over here, and this may have some link to the first article that we went over with Crunchyroll and all that. This may give a little bit more in depth at some of the stuff going on. Some of the stuff I was mentioning that Yellow Flash had mentioned on his coverage, some of this stuff. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. All right, so Western Industry Insider warns, quote, anime content bubble is probably gonna burst soon, unquote, says, quote, merch sales have fallen off a cliff, unquote, article by Spencer Cooley published earlier today. So, in the opinion of one noted veteran of the Western anime industry, the booming, quote, anime content bubble, unquote, seen in recent years is unfortunately very much on the verge of popping. This troubling warning regarding the industry's supposedly impending future was first leveled to the public courtesy of Anime News Network and Media OCD, in parentheses, a disc production company best known for their work on Discotheque's various releases, founder Justin Savakis. Taking to his personal Twitter account on July 7th, Savakis asserted, quote, I still have two meetings to go this AX, but so far my takeaways are, one, anime content bubble is probably going to burst soon. Way too many shows and nobody can handle it. Not fans, nor industry. Two, anime merch sales have fallen off a cliff, especially figures, unquote. Figures like Funko Pops and among other things, mecha kits, that kind of stuff. Quote, everyone's kind of in brackets here, neutral face emoji, unquote. He added, the emoji meant to communicate that his peers are currently feeling tense and uneasy towards the whole situation. Let's see, presented by a fellow anime fan as to whether or not, quote, we're heading towards another 2007, unquote, a reference to the infamous anime industry crash that resulted from the 2008 global financial crisis and led to a drastic dip in both the number of series produced in Japan and the amount licensed in the West. Savakis further opined, quote, this looks very different, although both were heavily caused by the macroeconomic conditions, TBH, or to be honest, unquote. Yes. I presume you are a reasonable person, or consider yourself to be, too. What are your thoughts on the Hawk Tua situation? I have no opinion because I don't even know what or who Hawk Tua is. I've seen the headline. I've seen that there are people talking about it, but since I don't really know who they are or what it is, I have no thoughts on it. It's not something, you know, I don't even know what or who Hawk 2 is, so I have no thoughts on it. Because I just don't follow Hawk 2 or whatever. And so, anyways, getting back to the article here. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, we already read that paragraph. As to just which specific, in smaller quotes, macroeconomic conditions were causing the industry's current predicament, when later asked by another user as to just why merch sales were dying, um, Savakis would reveal, quote, high inflation and less time spent at home post-COVID, unquote. Finally pressed as to what, quote, in smaller quotes, the bursting of the anime bubble would entail, Savakis speculated, quote, probably having the number of new shows each season, which is still 50, we might not even notice, unquote. Okay, I think one of the things he's saying is that there's way too many animes, being released at once. And yeah, if you're having a season of like 50 releases, if you're talking about 50 releases, yeah, anybody's gonna get burned out by it. It's like you have all these animes, some catch your attention more than others. So how are you gonna get all of them watched? Obviously the ones that have been around a while probably have precedent because you're currently involved in those, but new. But anyways, I see you've made some more comments here. You are lucky. Allow me to burden you with my level of awareness. There's a Southern girl who got drunk and answered an interview question saying Hawk Tua. And now she has an entire career and identity built around it. She has a manager and suing anyone who says Hawk Tua. Also, she quit her job. All right. Well, I mean, again, if she legitimately came up with it and she's making money off of it, if she went out and got the copyright or trademark rights to it, she's in the right there. It does seem kind of ridiculous, though. I mean, it does seem kind of ridiculous, though, for her to just be suing anybody just for saying Hawk 2 or whatever. That does seem quite over the top. Way over the top, in fact. Let me just read so there's a Southern girl and who got drunk and answered an interview question saying Hawk Tua, and now she has entire career and identity built around it. She has a manager and suing anyone who says, and I'm guessing Hawk Tua. Yeah, I mean that her suing everybody over it does seem a little. In fact, it doesn't seem a little. It seems a lot over the top, way over the top. But I mean, I get the point of protecting but if people are just saying it and they're not making money off, if she trademarked it and all that, but Mike, no, this is insanity. People don't quit their jobs because they got popular for saying stupid things when they're drunk, alcoholics. When they're drunk out, would be rich if that were true. Yeah, okay. I get that point. I get that point. But again, as I said, I haven't been following the situation. And as you said, I am lucky. It sounds like totally stupid. Okay, it sounds almost as inanely stupid as how people carried on about Amber Heard. Okay, you know this kind of stuff. You know, ma- you know, making yourself the butt of the world joke is, to me, it's just stupid. And I wouldn't pay. I may, if I see something, I may chuckle a little bit. Oh, that's cute, that's funny, that's stupid, and then I move on from it because you know I'm not into obsessing over stupidity. You know, yeah, there's a difference between reporting on something, legitimately critiquing something, and just and ad nauseum covering something just because it's up everybody's butt. You know what I mean? I don't get why people are accepting this as normal. I don't know. I don't know if it's a case of accepting it as normal. It just, you know, the problem with social media, right? Problem with social media as a whole is that it reduces human interaction to over a screen, right? For as a society, for us to really truly progress, we need to be interacting with each other in person. You know, I know. Yeah, I know. It's interesting to hear me say that, considering I spend a good chunk of my day on the computer here. But I get out. I don't just call out and have. I don't call out and have like Uber or Lyft or whoever deliver my food for me. I walk to the places. I walk, or if I do need have somebody drive me, I'll sometimes have somebody drive me. Now I walk to my local liquor store, or I walk to my local McDonald's, or I'll walk to my local favorite, um, Asian food place. You know, sometimes some of the distances take me 20, 15, 20 minutes. Other times the distance may take me um 35, 40 minutes, maybe even an hour. But but I still get up, get out every once in a while. I interact with people in person. I go into the stores. I talk to people, you know, because that's what we need to do. This, I think part of the problem is that because we've become so much into social media, so much into YouTube, so much into Twitter, so much into Facebook, anything, Instagram, anything and everything, because we lack the interpersonal interactions with each other. You know, um, people become desensitized. People have become desensitized to the kind of stupidity that you're talking about here with this Hawk Tuah girl. And it's normal because they've just become desensitized to it. People don't think. People just are so into social media, whatever. It's like anything. The stupidity of social media is the new normal, as they say. You know how they say orange is the new black, per se, or the emperor's new clothes. The stupidity of social media is the new quote unquote normal. It is totally stupid. I was serious when I said you were lucky to be unaware of it. Personally, I was equally unaware until I was cursed with it by a coworker. Yeah, I mean, I've seen hawk tuah. I've seen that phrase. I do know other YouTubers have been covering that, but you know, since I don't know who or what it is, I don't really care because based on what you're telling me, it's not about anime, it's not about cartoons, it's not about comics, it's not about manga, it's not about professional wrestling. I don't I don't really have any like real interest in watching people be stupid. Been a long time since I've had fast food. I could go for McDonald's right about now. That would make a good Twilight Zone episode. One's one sane, average, normal person in a world, whatever. Yeah, I don't know if I would call myself, completely normal. I mean, I have my quirks too. I have my little quirks too. Good night, spoon. But anyways, and look who's here, Metal. Hey, Metal. Night spoon. I could too. I think it's been a month since I've had fast food, and because someone didn't want their order, so I ate it. What's your fast food of choice, Metal? All right. Well, anyways. I'm gonna get back to finishing this article, and then we'll start wrapping things up a bit as you two talk. Thanks, Metal, for dropping in. Um, let's see. Oh yeah. All right. Though Dyer Savakis' prediction is not entirely out of left field, especially in light of the very real fact that there are currently far more series being produced than most audience could ever hope to watch. For example, in the summer 2024 season, which we're entering right now, okay, the summer 2024 season we're entering right now in terms of the release season, there are a total of 51 um, popular series currently airing, with a total of 45 of them being brand new productions. All right, so think about this in this perspective, okay? Now, granted, so we have 7 days a week, right? And so 24 hours in a day, so 24 times 7, that's 168 hours. 168 hours in a week, right? And let's just say on average, with commercials, a series, most of these series are about 30 minutes, with commercials, right? You know, usually without commercials and all that, it's like 22 to 24 minutes. So if you add in the commercials, like 30-minute, half hour blocks, basically, right? So you've got 51 series there. 51, 51 half hours. That's 25 and a half hours of content right there. 25 out of 168. That's I 25 that's well 25 out of 165. That would be like that'd be approximately 12%, and then 25 out of 170, that would be 20 wait, no, 25 out of 165, 5/33. So yeah, one, about 15%, and then 25 out of or five, one. So that's basically between 14 and 15% of the time you'd be using just watching these new animes. So approximately. But Anyway. All right, so let's see what you guys are talking about there. Whataburger, but I'm not that picky. I would pick that too if there are anywhere near me. The jalapeno burger is my favorite, and the fries. Luckily, being in Texas, I'm never too far from one. All right, you guys are. Okay, top ranking medal. Uh, what would what would you gold belly both men? What do you gold belly? What do you mean by that? Still, I don't eat fast food very often. It's not that bad for you when you walk to and from, but it's still an expensive, so expensive that it isn't even worth the gas it saved. Well, I don't know. I don't know about you, metal in Texas there, but I do know that at least here in California, I think with some of the more brand name brand name fast food places like McDonald's, like I think Burger King, Carl's Jr., Taco Bell, they've actually started selling like $5, $6 meal deals, right? Like I do know with at McDonald's, they have a $5 meal where you can get a McChicken, um, fries, um, get a McChicken, fries, chicken McNuggets, and a small soda, and then that's for $5.52 in total for the $5 meal, and then the $6 meal is like for $6.62 you get the McDouble, um, get a McDouble, fries, chicken McNuggets, and a small soda as well. So, and then of course they still have the two for $3.99 deal. And I heard that Taco Bell, I've heard like some of the other places like Wendy's, Burger King and all that, they're also having $5 meal deals as well. And I heard Taco Bell's having a $7 deal meal. So there are places that are kind of starting to. Glowbelly is a service where you can order any food in the world and have it delivered to you for a very high fee. Well, yeah, I don't gold belly. I don't use that. Again, I prefer to actually go places to grab my food than just order them, have them delivered to me. Yeah, but I could make stew for the week at a fraction of what be spent on those meals um, for the same time period. It's a nice treat on occasion. And money is not a burden for this hypothetical question. Well, it's not even a matter of money. It's not a matter of money. I just don't like doing it that way. I've just gotten to the point for me, especially since basically where what you guys are seeing right now is the majority of my day. Okay, so for me to go out and get my own meals at times, whether I'm going out and getting my energy drink in the morning or going out to like 7-Eleven or McDonald's to grab my meals, you know, is a part of my routine. It's how I get out of the house. It's how I get my butt off of this chair and get moving. So, damn it, now I want Taco Bell. Fast food is super expensive. Like, well, some places are, some places are, you know. But if you keep an eye on your money, you can make it last. You can make things last if you keep your eye on your money and spend wisely and save wisely. I don't gold belly either. I'm just asking what food you would eat from anywhere in the world. I mean, I'm up for trying just about anything, you know. It would depend upon what I'm in the mood for at the time. Anyways, let me get this article finished, guys, and hopefully you guys can comment. And Metal, if you're still here, I don't know if you've been, listening as I've been reading these articles. I've been focusing primarily on anime tonight. Some of the stuff you might find interesting too, with some of the stuff going on with Crunchyroll and shutting down comments. The Bleach Thousand Year um, has announced their release information, and what we're going on over here right now about the thought that anime might be actually about to have another crash as they did back in '07. Anyways, let's get back to the article here. Um, Looking ahead, the calendar doesn't get any lighter as 50 anime are currently scheduled to premiere in the fall 2024 season. So the fall that would be starting in October. So the fall 2024 season would be starting in October. The fall season is October, November, December. Let's see. Yeah. Suffice to say, with so many series vying for a limited amount of audience attention, um, only a handful at best will even have a hope of becoming a financial or reputational success. Especially if you have a number of series that have similar themes. Like a lot of times you might have 3 or 4 different isekai. You might have 3 or 4 different slice of life. You might have 3 or 4 action adventure. You know, so at least yeah. Um, I will prepare to accept your response in several weeks. I live in a very internationally diverse area, so I can't really think of anything I'd want to order from around the world that I can't get in the DFW area. I forgot to mention Hawktua goes by ring rules. Um, if you don't pass it on to someone in 7 days, she comes for you. Like, I really care. As I said, I don't know who Hawktua is. Don't really care. You know, I mean, and coming after me, trying to sue me for money would, I'm on disability. So, nothing you want to experience uh, authentic version of. The stuff I get is pretty authentic. It's usually prepared by immigrants, and more expensive places often import their ingredients for the more. Right? I know I never want authentic sushi. Have visitors from Japan, and they say ours is better because it's more fresh. Sushi is better here. All right. So anyways, let me get back to the art. Let me finish up the article here. Ultimately, whether or not Savakis is actually onto something will only be proven with time. Let's just hope, should the anime industry actually crash, it'll have little to no effect on the recent tokusatsu boom. At the very least, not before the West gets a proper Blu ray release of Kamen Rider Kabuto. All right, so there we go. So there we go with that. We're done with the anime articles, of course, or with the news articles. So now, most of the Japanese immigrant chefs will say the same. That's true. All right. So with that now that we're, of course, done with the articles, now we'll move on to the wrestling wrap up. And of course, first I'm going to talk a bit about. Let me see. All right. So, anyways, so last night's Monday Night Raw had some interesting developments. I go pump that up. Monday Night Raw, which came from the Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And of course, you had Michael Cole. The opening match saw Jey Uso defeat Chad Gable. Bronson Reed defeated Pete Dunne in the Carlito and Judgment Day, the Judgment Day duo of Finn Balor and JD McDonough, defeated the team of Awesome Truth of Miz and R-Truth and Braun Strowman. It also last night, of course, saw the return of Rhea Ripley from her injury. Now, granted, she's not. I don't know if she's cleared to wrestle yet, but she is not happy with Dominic Mysterio for his shenanigans with Liv Morgan, and so things are going to be heating up there. As of course, Rhea looking to regain her world championship that she lost to Liv Morgan. But Ilya Dragunov defeated Braun Breaker via DQ. And then in a six-woman tag team match here, Damage Control of Dakota Kai, Kairi Sane, and Io Sky defeated the team of Kaden Carter, Katana Chance, and Maria Valkyrie. And then Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan defeated the LWO team of Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega. So, yeah. So with that, and now coming up on tonight's, on the CW, airing on tonight's NWA Power episode on the CW app. Tonight's schedule includes Baron Von Storm, aka Tim Storm, with Jack Zane corner, taking on Mims. Kenzie Page defends the women's world title against Ella Envy, and in a Crockett Cup semifinal match, Blunt Force Trauma of Carnage and Aaron Stevens in their corner takes on the Immortals of Kratos and Odinson. So that's all I got for the wrestling wrap up tonight. Probably go over some of the results tomorrow from now. There also has been a report that WWE, of course, is interested in when her contract with TNA is up, bringing in current TNA Knockout champion Jordan Grace. So also anyway, let me just do this real quick. Where would you two most want to travel to? Um, Honestly, for me, um, if I could, I would probably consider maybe traveling to Japan. You know, quite honestly, I'd travel outside the country. Within the United States, probably somewhere down south there. Southeastern portion of the country. Let's see. Anyways, now that we're done with the wrestling wrap up, now today being I have a big list, but for the top, um, I'd kind of like to see the remains my clan's castle in Ireland. That might sound like an interesting trip for everybody to take. Japan has an interesting wrestling scene. You ever check? Yeah, well, I am aware of the history of Japanese wrestling. Um, All Japan and New Japan started back in 1972 when Inoki broke away from the Japan Wrestling Association, and then Giant Baba followed suit the following year and started up All Japan. So I'm well aware of the history of Japanese wrestling, of the greats that have come over the years from the 70s all the way up to today. Oh, do you have? All right. So, anyways, today is boy, hold on, I get it. Damn it. Anyways, today being Tuesday, July 9th, 2024, we're going to go ahead and take a look back at this day in each history. As soon as I corrected, inadvertently thinking I was closing one thing out, but ended up closing another thing out needed, so. Let me find it. Oh, there it is. All right. Yeah, number 20. Okay. So, anyways, today is Tuesday, July 9th, 2024. Um, so let's take a look back at this day in each history. History! So, first off, we're going to head back 70 years ago today. On this date, 70 years ago today. This date, 70 years ago today. Um, the 25th issue of Hand of Fate went on sale on this date back in 1954. It was sold for 10 cents, 32 pages. Ace Magazine's the 25th issue of Ace Magazine's Hand of Fate went on sale on this date back in 1954, 70 years ago today. With that, moving ahead to 1994. On this date, 30 years ago today, back in 1994, Toei Animation's Dragon Ball Z Bio Broly as well as Slam Dunk Conquer the Nation. Both premiered in Japanese theaters on this date back in 1994. It's 30 years ago today. So 30 years ago today, Toei Animation's Dragon Ball Z Bio Broly and Slam Dunk Conquer the Nation both premiered in Japanese theaters on this date back in 1994. So, with that, let's go ahead and move on to the next piece in each history. And on this date in 1999, on this date, I actually would like to wish a happy 25th birthday to Claire Corlett, of course, the daughter of Canadian voice actor Ian James Corlett, but also she's a Canadian actress and voice actress herself, providing the voices of Sweet Belle in My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic and Tiny Pterodon in Dinosaur Train. So happy 25th birthday to Canadian actress and voice actress Claire Corlett, the daughter of Ian James Corlett, and the voice of Sweetie Belle in My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, and Tiny Pterodon in Dinosaur Train. And finally, on this date in 2019, 5 years ago today, on this day, WWE held its Go Home SmackDown Live event heading into Extreme Rules. On this date, back 5 years ago in 2019, held it at the SNHU, the Southern New Hampshire University Arena in Manchester, New Hampshire. Heading into that following Sunday's Extreme Rules event, the main event saw Roman Reigns defeat Dolph Ziggler. In a triple threat match, Otis defeated Daniel Bryan and Xavier Woods. You also saw Nikki Cross defeat Carmella and Shinsuke Nakamura defeat Finn Balor. So that's all I got for you guys tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. We'll be back here tomorrow night with more Niche news. Of course, this Friday, we'll be doing our historical comic retrospect, as I'll have Metal in with me. But I guess before I go, I should at least check out these last comments, see what you guys were talking about as I was wrapping up here. I'm at Kaiju Big Battle. You might enjoy that. I could get a new one. The Clan still issues Authentic Crest, and I'm in the international registry. Let's see. Same, I think my grandfather had one on a scroll, but I used to have a copy of it on a keychain. Let's see. Maybe Tapestry. Let's see. And McGrath, to be specific. Son of Robin. We're late for Rick. Yeah. Well, we got so talking up on other stuff that took me longer to get through the material I was getting through than I thought I would. But anyways, well, guys, thanks for popping in, and I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow. Bye.